Now they lost it on the 40 acres on campus grounds. We gather around, discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they the talk of the town. Podcast tales of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories. From touchdowns to heartbreakers, we discuss it all. Texas Longhorns glory. Here we gather around each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Harry, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams you might. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
Yo, what's up? We have been gone for a while, but we are back. So much happened on the 40 this week. We're here to cover it all. So we're not going to waste too much time into it. We're going to get right into it. We're going to get in, get out. Sweet 16 is going on right now. Yep. Duke, Arizona about to tip off. Alabama's punched their ticket. Looks like Florida is probably well on their way. Yeah. So let's get right into it. Tim, how you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Man, it's been a crazy week. You know, we've had some major changes on the 40. So there's that. And pro days and spring ball and the women's have been looking good. So I'm just excited. It's a good time, man. It's a good time.
Yeah. LSU found out what it's like to play Texas in the SEC. So we'll talk about that too briefly.
Yep.
But first, as always, first and foremost, fanbattlesports.com. Find us at fanbattlesports.com. Latest and greatest, all the stuff, good things, fanbattlesports.com. Awesome, great stuff. All right, find us on Twitter at LHFanBattle. Find us on YouTube at Longhorn Fan Battle. Tim, we need two.
To get to
2 followers to 1,000 on TikTok.
Yeah.
Follow us on TikTok, Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast. Be one of 2. Be the special ones. And for those of you guys that are in our tournament bracket challenge,
the
men's almost 50 people. Thank you guys. I think it like almost doubled or nearly tripled our participation from last year.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can continue to grow it out. We appreciate the support. We love running it. We love sports, and we love sharing that excitement with everyone. So we'll post at the end of tonight, kind of where the updated brackets are. I actually did the best I've ever done in guessing the Sweet 16. I got 11 out of 16 correct.
My bracket has gone to glory. It's gone. It's
you got shot on the first day.
Yeah.
Or no, the second day. But
thanks.
First, yeah. So, but that's all right. That happens to over 30 million people a year. So you're one of 30 million. No big deal.
No big deal.
All right. Speaking of busted brackets, Texas men's basketball had an opportunity to get into the tournament Thursday night.
I gave him too much credit. I gave him
Xavier,
bro. I gave him way too much credit.
They ended up falling to Xavier 86-80, but that first half was like the best I've seen Texas basketball all season. and then the second half happens. And really, it wasn't even like the second half. It was like the last like 8. No, it was because they started off slow and then they did okay. And it was like the last 7 to 8 minutes of the game. And that's where they lost the game. Offensively and defensively, right? Like,
Yeah.
they knew what Xavier was going to do. They knew that Xavier, was going to shoot threes, and then not being able to guard the 3-point line just was weird to me. Not getting not being able to get the right guys involved in the game.
Yeah.
I thought Trey Johnson should have gotten the ball a lot more than he did in certain situations.
Definitely.
And I also thought Trey Johnson should have deferred the ball, and he didn't do that in some of the key situations. So definitely totally fumbled the bag. What'd you think?
Okay, so this is initially what I think. I think the first half was a perfect game. This was definitely something where I was like, oh, this is the Longhorns we've been talking about the entire season. These are the guys that beat Kentucky. These are the guys that, even though they were getting dog walked within majority of their divisional games, a lot of the times they were able to keep up with a lot of these teams outside of, a handful of teams. But to completely go and just wet the bed the second half, and mind you, there is a stat prior to this game when Texas is up by more than 4 or 5 points in this season alone, they're like 17-2. And they wet the bed.
Really good. Yeah, really, really good.
They couldn't hold on to the ball. They couldn't hold on to rebounds. They let Xavier get easy buckets, and they got out-coached. Like, literally out-coached. I don't know. It's like,
yeah.
They were like, man, I remember hearing one of the announcers like, man, Xavier, they're not able to hit the three. Man, Texas' perimeter defense been really, really good. Well, what happens? They get lax on the second half, and they get blasted out of the gym. They literally got walked out that gym.
Isn't Texas up by like 13 or 14 at one point?
They were, if I'm not mistaken, the most they were up was by 13.
They were up 8 at halftime. They go up 14 at one point, right? A couple of times, right?
Yeah.
And then they get outscored by 14 from the second half.
Yeah.
And which look, that's the season, right? That's basically what this season was for the Longhorns all year. Yeah. And the only problem is we saw it when everybody was healthy. I think that's the backbreaker. Listen, throughout the season, everybody's out, whatever. But this is the time of year that those are the games that you need to close out. I had Texas in the Sweet 16 because I did think that looking at the SEC tournament, I was like, look, these guys can compete. It's not like who they had in front of them was difficult.
I personally believe that Rodney Terry was going to literally save his job.
Yeah.
I just, and it's not that I didn't want him to go. I wanted him to go out in the blaze of glory, and he didn't go out that way. That team went out sad. You looked dominant in the first half.
Yeah.
And you completely wet the bed. Like there's nothing that anyone that could say to me that's like that team should have won. Like Xavier should have won. No, I'm sorry. And again, this is nothing against Xavier. And Xavier has had a historical past of being a very formidable opponent, and actually being a formidable opponent in the tournament. So it's nothing against them. It's nothing against Sean Miller. They played their game, and they made the proper adjustments. And whatever Texas, I don't know what Texas did, but they looked very lax on that end. Yep. And when you get to a point like that, there's not too many teams in the tournament. And Haris, correct me if I'm wrong, where somebody's going to hit a shot. And that's all you need in a tournament. All you need is for one person to get hot. All you need is one person to build off of a confidence. And then that team starts to build off of it. And you clearly see the momentum shift. And I mean, was it quick? No. But we saw it. It started from the tip of the second half. You could just see it. And I expected Rodney to go out at least trying to really do what he can to save his job, and it didn't feel like that.
I think that the moment that I was like, ooh, I think Texas is going to lose this game is the moment they lost the lead. Like, as soon as they lose the lead on that three-pointer that puts Xavier up 1, Texas is not winning this game. I think I even tweeted it out. I was like, this is classic Texas, but we'll see what happens. And like, they've done this all year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Right? And they end up losing. It wouldn't have surprised me if they won. It wouldn't have surprised me if they lost, right?
Exactly. Same boat. The same. I respect that thought process so much because it's
a firecracker.
It's a firecracker, and it's like playing Russian roulette with them. You don't know what's going to happen. You either know that they're gonna play defense, they're gonna play perimeter defense, they're gonna get the rebound. Dude, Texas was. Dog, they were getting so many rebounds. Xavier was jacking up so many shots at one point in time. It was just like, have at it. Boom, boom, boom. Like, and it's like Xavier would close in and Texas would just rebound, play defense very well, and get an easy bucket. Or rebound, outlet pass, layup. Nothing outlandish. This wasn't flashy. This wasn't.
Honestly, it was a boring game, right? Like for the casual fan, it was very boring. Xavier does actually play like a faster paced offense, right?
Right. Yes.
But overall, the game was boring. If you like, from a casual fan's perspective, it was a boring because Xavier also does play good defense. Right? They do play good defense.
Yeah, this was the most boring game of the week. Texas Xavier. So,
minus the North Carolina game that they won by 30.
That was bad. Yeah, but other than that, good luck to Rodney Terry. I mean, he's going to land some other job, and he's going to. I would not be surprised if he's some NBA assistant. I would not be surprised at that.
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
he's not a bad coach. He's
a great guy. He's also a good human. Like, he's just a good person.
Yeah, right? I'm not putting anything. I don't want to down him or step on his grave. He just wasn't a fit here, and it was obvious. Players, other coaches, sources, just not a good fit here at the University of Texas, and that's it.
So we all know what happens, right? So when CDC smells blood in the water, and you kind of like get a feeling that CDC is looking around, like we know at this point, right? Like what's going on and when the next move is going to happen. You felt it with Tom. You felt it with Shaka. You felt it, and now you felt it with David Pierce, right?
Yep.
And what is the one thing we know about CDC? He will make a quick. He moves very quickly.
He doesn't wait long at all.
You wait through the weekend, right? You basically wait until all the games are over.
Yep.
Right? Saturday night, Sunday morning, Rodney Terry's released.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours later. Two hours later, Sean Miller is announced as a new basketball coach of the Texas basketball program.
Yep.
The guy that beat you less than 72 hours before is now your head basketball coach. And honestly, it's different.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. I like different.
I don't like this. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't like it.
What don't you like?
I don't like Sean Miller as the coach. I think Sean Miller. Now, I don't know Sean Miller from a can of paint. Let me be very honest with you. There were a number of teams or a number of coaches that I wanted, And I thought that it was time for Crystal Conte to really go and get a big name coach.
Yeah.
And go and do this. Like he needed to make the big name coach hire. Now, again, there are coaches out there that are still coaching right now.
Sure.
But there are coaches out there that I thought should have been. I don't know if they were vetted. I don't know if they were interviewed. I don't know. One, Royal Ivy, get the band back together. Get Kevin Durant back in the building. Get TJ Ford back in the building. Get PJ Tucker back in the building. There should be no reason why these guys are not there. I get it. It's during basketball season. A lot of these guys are still active. TJ Ford is not active. He's not playing anymore.
He was on a TV show like less than a year ago.
Yeah, he's not playing anymore. PJ Tucker, he's playing, but he's not like. I would not be surprised.
He's got to be close to retirement, man.
Yeah,
he's been in the league for like what, 18 years?
He's like almost 40.
Yeah, PJ Tucker's
Kevin Durant's 34, 35. Get some of these old Longhorn veterans in and get them in there and like change the culture around. Another guy, I know he's in the NBA right now. Billy Donovan.
Really wanted Billy. You specifically really wanted Billy Donovan.
I really wanted Billy Donovan, and I really wanted Rick Pitino. Why are they not getting you?
You wanted Rick Pitino or his son?
No, I want Rick Pitino. I want Rick because Rick comes in. Rick Pitino, and I'm not comparing him just because of like race. Rick Pitino and Pat Riley are the same person to me. They have the same.
They have like the same.
They're wearing
suits. They act the same.
They're wearing suits on the sidelines. They run a tight ship. Their coaching pedigree.
They're old school.
Their systems. Their assistants are good. Their people.
Yeah.
Their coaching tree phenomenal. Another team. What's my man out in Arkansas? I can't think of it.
Carey. He wasn't leaving Arkansas, man. Here's the thing. I know you want like that top level coach.
You got to open the checkbook. Open it.
But Sean Miller is actually like a really good, very well established coach.
I don't know Sean Miller. And the coach
Sean Miller's been to 5 Elite Eights, like 3 Sweet 16s.
That's impressive.
Has won like over 70% of his games as a head coach.
That's
he's done it twice at Xavier. Do you know like the basketball players that Sean Miller produced at Arizona?
No, I don't.
He was the head guy at Arizona for a while. And there is a very, very impressive list of he produced the number 2 pick, Derek Williams. You remember Derek Williams? He didn't pan out in the NBA, but he produced the number 2 pick.
I remember Derek Williams. Derek Williams was supposed to be that guy,
and he just got injured, right?
Yeah, he was injured.
Let's see. He also produced guys like Damon Stoudemire. He produced guys. Yeah, dude. Was it Damon Stoudemire?
Damon or Amari?
No, Amari came straight out of high school. Richard Jefferson.
Okay.
I
like Richard Jefferson. Did he coach? Gilbert Arenas?
No, he wasn't that far.
Okay, he wasn't there. Okay.
He took over right after Lute Olson retired.
Okay.
So this is like 2012, 2011, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
It might have been Damon Stoudemire. But yeah, I mean, look, I know Sean Miller. He had some NIL, some pre-NIL issues.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why he left Arizona. You know these guys: DeAndre Ayton, Lauri Markkanen.
Yep.
Let's see. See, look, he's produced top level NBA guys,
Okay.
right? So he's no scrub as a coach. He's produced some top level
But
guys.
to be fair about a lot of those guys were, to me, we're gonna go to Arizona regardless. Because Arizona is a blue blood.
Yeah, for sure.
Texas is not a blue blood. So
Yeah,
this is really gonna be telling to CDC based on like, and again, this is kind of what you were talking about, and we'll go ahead and get to it in regards to like his presser, right? In his presser, he was talking about developing players, just like the way that Coach Sark goes, the way Schloss is doing, and producing players, producing good men. Outside of being great players, you also want these kids to turn into good young men. So that was what I pulled from it. He definitely seems to want to. I mean, it's definitely a step up. Xavier is definitely. I mean, Texas is definitely a step up from Xavier. Even though, like I said, Xavier is a great program. They've had a lot of success, but I mean, a big name like Texas. Listen, if I say anything else, if I say anything outlandish, you tell me if I'm tripping. Sean Miller goes and he gets some. I don't even think he has to get the best recruiting class, but if he gets a top 20 recruiting class and he wins the SEC and he gets to a Final Four, he's probably the greatest basketball coach ever
in Texas history,
especially if he goes multiple times.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
He will.
If he makes one, he equals Rick Barnes, right?
Right.
If he let's just say if he wins the national title, he's the greatest basketball coach in Texas history.
Right. So it's not a lot of. It's not what I'm saying is, even though the expectations are high, you don't have to do much. I know this sounds crazy, what I'm saying, but like all you got to do is win once, and you're easily the greatest coach. That shows
because that's just where the basketball program is, right?
Right.
That's how bad the basketball program is.
Exactly. You're taking the words right in my mouth. It just shows like where we are in that state, and it's like, listen, man, we're clamoring for it. I want the big name coach because I want the big name players.
Yeah,
I do. We get these big name players, dog, and we don't produce with them
because we don't have good coaching.
It's insane to me. It's like look what Madison.
Even with Rick Barnes, bro. Look at how many times Rick Barnes, was short. Second round. Rick Barnes from what is it like after he made the Final Four, I think only made the Sweet 16 once after that.
That's unfortunate.
And how many great players came through after that 2003 team?
Exactly.
Dexter Pittman, AJ Abrams. That team with AJ Abrams and LaMarcus Aldridge, right?
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant. That team didn't even get to the Sweet 16.
That's crazy.
So this isn't about. Listen, we're in the state of Texas, and I think Sean Miller knows that. I do think he's good enough to get and there's resource backing enough to get players and develop them if he does it the right way.
Right.
To me, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when Steve Sarkisian was hired. What accolades, with even less accolades, people are really high on Steve Sarkisian when he got here.
Right.
He didn't accomplish anything as a head coach. And people are like, yo, this guy is going to be awesome.
To be based on what you're reading to me, Sean Miller's decorated.
He's really good.
Very decorated. Like we're talking at this point, and again, not taking anything away from Sark. Sark was a phenomenal coordinator. That is That is what Sark has been known for. He's a phenomenal coordinator, now phenomenal coach. Sean Miller, with all of these accolades that you're telling me, and all these recruits that are being brought in and top draft picks, that says a lot. What I'm gonna just say what I expect real quick, and then I'll let you have it, because I know you saw more of the presser than I did.
Yeah.
What I'm expecting from him, based on the press conference, I didn't get to see all of it, but I got to see majority of it. How are you going to get these kids to come to Texas? How are you going to get these kids to stay at Texas? And how are you going to turn this team over? We're already seeing the effects of it, because there are a couple of Xavier players that are in the portal. I'm expecting them to come to Texas.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
I'm expecting them to come to Texas. So with basketball, there's so much turnover. There's so much more turnover than football.
Because there's less spots, more opportunity.
You got kids coming in. So it's like, where do you start? How are you going to attack this? Are you going to attack the transfer portal?
Yep.
Are you going to attract try to get these big name players in, even though we know they're only going to be here for a year? Like, how do you address that? I feel like it's going to be a combination of both, being again that we're seeing a lot of these Xavier kids leaving and making it known that they're in the transfer portal. We saw 3 players, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend after Sean Miller's being hired, announced that they were in the transfer portal, and I am expecting at least 3 of them to show up. I don't know if they're Xavier's best players, but I'm expecting them to be to wear a Texas uniform next year.
Yes. So I got a chance to watch the entire thing, and there's a couple things that stuck out to me.
Right.
Number one,
this wasn't a short press conference. This was pretty long.
It was like an hour.
Yeah,
right.
This is pretty long. Yeah.
Number one is he mentions, wanting to win here, right? He's done it at every level, blah blah blah. He talks about all the players that he's brought into, the NBA, and he mentions Jarek Williams. His son actually went to the same high school and was in the same graduating class as Bijan Robinson. Just like a really cool note. That's kind of
that's actually pretty dope.
A quote that he had: "When you're the flagship school in the state, your power is limitless." And so that's really a quote that he have.
I really hope that means that he's going for any and everybody. I really hope that that's the case. With that being said, like, man, that's a very powerful statement. I do remember hearing that. But to hear it outside of it, you got the press conference on, you kind of in and out, but that's a big statement to make.
There's a couple other quotes. He mentions, he named like 8 guys, but I only got like 5 of them down. He says, he mentions alumni and the importance of their presence to the program. Guess who else mentioned that? Steve Sarkisian.
Yep.
Guess who else mentioned that? Jim Schlossnagle. That is a Texas culture, right?
Yep.
We've got to bring the veterans back. This is who he called out: TJ Ford, LaMarcus Aldridge, Avery Bradley, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Durant.
Man,
he says we need these guys. He basically said we need these guys and to be successful. Our vision of the program starts with recruiting, and our job is to recruit the world.
Yep, he's right.
Right. He wants to play fast but not reckless, and that means pace, movement, togetherness, toughness.
Haven't we not been talking about this?
This is what we want. This is exactly what we want, right?
We've been talking about this for years. I've always talked about pace. These guys never look. Listen, Ronnie Terry teams never look in control. They never look.
They look so
all over the place,
fast, and they were bad at playing fast. Oh, it was painful.
Listen, when it was about the fast break and they were able to make the transition, they looked like one of the best teams in the nation.
Yeah.
But when it looked a lot of other times it looked like a train wreck. It really did. It really did.
And then finally, the last thing I wrote down, he mentions the concept of all in. To him, when he says, when I say all in, we need everybody. Alumni, we need you. We need to do a great job of making you feel like the program is yours.
Yeah.
So he's saying all the right things, right? All the things that you were concerned about, he's saying the right things, but he's also shown that that's what he's about, right?
Right.
He took when he went back to Xavier this last stint, that first year, 2 years ago, they went to the Sweet 16 and played Texas, right? They'd only won 14 games the year before that. His first year back, they get back to the Sweet 16.
That's awesome.
Right. And then this year they obviously lose in the second round. They beat Texas, they lose in the second round, whatever, right? Like it was a bad year. They had a lot of injuries. Their best player gets hurt in January. But listen, I think it's a fantastic hire. I think when we talk about what this athletic program is about, what it's built off of, what you need to do, and he's already on the recruiting trail and transfer portal, right? He said that's obviously the next thing they need to look at is the transfer portal. He doesn't know what his Xavier guys are going to do. Wink, wink. He doesn't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, he can't know. He can't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. So, but there's a couple of Xavier guys that I think he's going to probably get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dalen Swain. Definitely is one of his big 3-point shooters there. Is a name to look out for. And then obviously the big fish, right? Conwell, I believe his name is Conwell. Rumors are he's going to go to Providence, but we'll see. If he was going to go to Providence, I feel like it would have already happened.
Right.
Because he's from that Philadelphia area.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the big man, John Hooley. That he transferred. He put his name in the transfer portal too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean things will iron themselves out. Xavier, Trey Green. I mean they've got these guys are in the portal, right?
They've got guys. They've got guys.
Yeah, there's names, right? And yeah, they lose out on Koa Pote today, who is the 5-star power forward, who of course Koa Pete, not Pote. Of course, he picked Arizona, right, over Arizona State, Baylor, Houston, and Texas.
Yeah.
That's just casualty. That's just a coaching casualty, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think it's a great hire. I think if you look at the state of this program and what you want the program to be, our expectations can't be too high because the historical success says that we are a third to fourth tier Power 5 program, right?
Yeah.
But we can, because of the resources, you can raise the expectation. It doesn't have to be just make the tournament, right? I think a decent expectation is you've got to make it to this weekend, right? You've got to be playing Thursday and Friday of the second week. That should be, you've got to make it to the Sweet 16. With the resources that this university has, look at the Texas women's basketball program. This is the healthiest and the best the women's basketball program has ever been.
Yeah.
Even under Jody Conrad, I don't remember it being this good, this fast, this consistent. That first year, sure, Vic Schaefer struggled, but since then, Elite Eight, and then this year, right? Probably Final Four, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Steve Sarkisian, what he's doing with the basketball program. Jim Schlossnagle, bro,
Can we talk about this right now?
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I need Sean Miller to do. Do what Jim Schlossnagle is doing with the Texas baseball team. Do you remember what the biggest problem with the Texas baseball team was last year?
Pitching.
Yep. It was a problem for 2 games this year. That first game?
The first game they lost. That was
a game they should have won.
2-8.
No. I'm talking about the first game of the season.
Yeah,
against Louisville. Yeah. They should have won that game, right?
Yeah, they should have won that game. Yeah.
And then look, Ruger pitches a beauty up until the 6th inning of the first game in this series, right? And
Yep.
shout out to that guy. That guy. Listen, Ruger is a dog. that I don't know if you know, but that guy is very good at baseball. He can pitch, right? He came in relief. He came in and started game 3. We'll talk about game 3 here in a second. Yeah, that guy can pitch. And then the freshman pitcher that has come in relief for this baseball program. Oh geez, I forget. I'm gonna pull his name up here real quick, but that's what I'm talking about, right? When we're talking about like you don't need much to be successful at the University of Texas. You just need competent coaching.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Yeah,
you need competent coaching, and if you can get that, you're going to be okay because this university has that type of Dylan Valantis. That's the freshman. I was stalling. That's why I was saying that the university has those types of resources, right? Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to watch any of this series over the weekend?
I didn't get to watch it. I did hear play-by-play because I couldn't, I was working over the weekend. So okay. I was definitely tuned in via ESPN app, listening to play-by-play. Let me just say this. Even though I don't watch a lot of baseball as much as I like to, because there are some weird times, like the first game, 7 p.m., we kind of knew that was going to be 7 p.m. top 10 matchup. Like, we got a situation where you got a number 2 LSU. LSU is a big dog in baseball, period. So we kind of knew where there was going to be. But the other games were like Saturday at 6, and the final game was on a Sunday at like 2 p.m. Like, I'm kind of like all over the place. I'm moving around and trying to get things done. But within listening to the game, like, I will say it has been fun to hear because the commentators, they were talking so highly of Schloss that it was like they were almost gushing over him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's just a really, really good coach. I think he was in a really, really weird situation last year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he wanted to be at A&M last year.
No, I don't think he wanted to be there at all.
I don't think
any of his years.
I don't think he liked the culture. I don't think he liked the culture. I don't think he liked the fans. I don't think he liked any of it. I felt like it looked like, even though he was able to coach a team to the national championship, he in times looking at these interviews, he looked uncomfortable. Now, I've heard interviews, post game interviews and stuff like that. He sounds happy. He sounds like he just sounds different, and the team's responding to it. Again, these commentators are gushing over him. Like, this could be a situation where, and I'm not trying to like toot my horn, but like they could be onto something right now. Again, they handle, after the long hard fought series with LSU, of course, losing that first game, they come back, they take over, they win the second game, and then they close out the third game in a great way. Then they take care of Sam Houston State. Normally, and Arish, you tell me if I'm wrong, that's a game they drop. That's a game.
That's an excitement game, right? That's a game. You get this big series win. You're coming back home to the dish. You're going to Missouri for the first time in 15 years or 13 years or however. Like Missouri, listen, Missouri's not very good, but that place is going to be rocking.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This is the first that Texas has come back and visited Missouri in as a member of the SEC, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, did they? I think they went for basketball. I don't remember basketball if they went for basketball.
I don't remember basketball.
But And this is a major sport. Like, this is not like a small sport. This is like baseball is one of the big three, right?
Yeah.
Listen, that Friday game was just a weird game, right? The pitching just wasn't very good.
It was not good. I was listening to that it got bad real quick.
Yeah, the bats for LSU just got hot. Like, listen, LSU's got some really good players. They've got a Stanfield, Braswell, Michael Braswell, who's going to be I think he's projected to be a top 10 pick, third baseman for them.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Stanfield, the center field. I really like Chris Stanfield. I don't know what it is about that guy, but there's just something I really, really like about him. He just seems like a really chill kid. He's a very, very good baseball player. But after that first game, the one thing I noticed about this Texas team is their ability to take very, very disciplined at bats.
Mm.
You talk about like the basketball team, like when things are going frantically, like you need somebody to be able to help calm you down, right? The batting average doesn't always look beautiful. They're not going to hit 400 home runs, which they're actually hitting a lot of home runs right now. But if you take a look at the at bats, and specifically Max Ballou, and who's the other guy? It's just like, man, this guy just waits them out. Rylan Galvin, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys just take really long, drawn out at bats, and they really like mess with the pitcher's head. And I really think that's what happened. Like, Texas took these like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 like at bats, and pitchers got tired.
Yeah.
And when your pitcher gets tired, you're more prone to be like, oh man, I'll just hang a curveball over the middle. Yeah. I'll just hang a fastball inside. Right. Like, you're prone to like mistakes like that. And the patience that this team has exuded those last two games. Saturday's game was just a classic, right? Just a classic back and forth slobber knocker. That was a very, very fun game. And then Sunday, it's just back to business, man. Just taking care of business.
It's
long
like
at bats.
It's like they took a deep breath and was like, all right, let's close this thing out. And that's exactly what they did.
Dude, Max Ballou on Sunday was unreal.
Yeah.
He was so good on Sunday. He goes 4 for 4. He has a triple. He has 3 RBIs, 4 for 4 or 2 for 4, 4 RBIs, scores a run. Texas win. He basically accounted for 5 of the 6 Texas runs, and whether it was an RBI or a run that he scored.
Yeah.
That's top level stuff. And defensively, this team just played really well. And LSU made a lot of mistakes on Sunday. A lot of mistakes.
And listen, you want to win those type of series because that does build a lot of confidence, and it does something for you. Listen, we know how fast the baseball season progresses. This is the remaining schedule. I just pulled it up. They've got Missouri starting tomorrow at 6 p.m. They've got Texas State, Georgia, Houston Christian, Kentucky, UTRGV, Auburn, Texas State again, A&M, PV, Arkansas, Lamar, Florida, Oklahoma. That's it. And they start the SEC tournament the next 3 days later. So you don't have much time. You got to put these together because right now you're 20-3. Honestly, look, I'm not gonna go on the record and say, oh well, they have, they could win all the rest of their games. I feel like with this schedule, they have an opportunity to really close out a lot of these series.
Yeah.
And Arkansas and A&M are going to be hard. Period. Florida, not going to be a walk in the park. Oklahoma, not going to be a walk in the park. But the rest of this stuff is
winnable.
It's winnable. It's good. Yeah, it's winnable.
Your toughest series remaining are Arkansas and Georgia. That's it. Right. Yeah. Georgia's very good, 5-1. Arkansas, Georgia is 1-2 in the conference right now.
Yeah.
Right. And then Auburn's kind of middle of the pack. Oklahoma's kind of middle of the pack, and then Florida and A&M are really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the reason why I say Oklahoma, A&M, and Arkansas because
Well, they're rivals, right? Those are rivals.
right back. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Like they run right into each other.
Yep.
So that's
you got to go to Arkansas. You got to go to Fayetteville. Got to go to Norman.
That's a lot of emotion, dog.
Yeah.
Because the baseball games get crazy. They do. Like they do. So again, kudos to them. Again, like I said, tomorrow they start their series with Missouri at Friday at 6 p.m.
Yep.
That'll be on the SEC network for majority of the weekend. They also play Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. on Saturday and 1 p.m. on Sunday. So I'm hoping that they are able to pull that out. It is going to be an action-packed weekend.
Yep.
What we should be talking about on Saturday as well, our Texas women's basketball team is playing against them Tennessee Volunteers, 2 p.m. next.
Yes, sir.
And man, what a dominant game that they put up against. Who did they play? Jesus, I just drew a blank. One second.
You're talking about the second round game?
Yeah.
They played
Illinois.
Illinois. Yeah, Illinois. Yep.
So listen, I do know that Illinois was banged up. They had quite a bit of players that were banged up. I understand that, but Texas looked good. Juju Watkins went down.
Shout out to her. Hopefully she gets better.
Yeah, man. I really wanted her to get better. The women's basketball tournament, this March Madness tournament is probably one of the best of the best. I'm not joking. Like Maryland, USC, UCLA, Tennessee, Texas, all of these teams, UConn look fantastic. They all look. TCU, can't forget TCU. TCU looks great.
You want me to tell you something about TCU?
What's that?
I think they're the biggest fraud in the tournament left.
Really? You think they lose?
I think they lose to Texas. They might not even win tomorrow or Saturday or whenever they play Friday or whatever. I have to go check. I have to go see who they. Oh, they played Notre Dame. I don't think they beat Notre Dame.
I don't think I have them. Yeah, I think when I picked, I don't think I had them beating Notre Dame either.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame's going to come in and feel like really slighted that they didn't get that they only got a 3 seed.
I mean,
they
did kind of get slighted. I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, for sure they slid for sure, right? Like they were injured. They lost like their last 3 or 4 games. I think Notre Dame, and guess what? Notre Dame is favored by 7.5.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad I picked Notre Dame over Tennessee. But yeah, listen, Madison Booker,
balling. She is balling.
Special. This is also, I wanted to bring this up real quick, because I felt like this needed to be said. It makes sense why Aaliyah Chavez went to Oklahoma.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Because you're not starting.
Where's she going to play? Where's she going to play here?
You're not starting over Madison Booker. I'm sorry. You're
not starting over Rory Harmon next year.
You're not. No, not at all.
And that's your 1 and your 3.
And they play defense.
Yeah, a lot of defense. Really good defense.
Not taking anything away from Aaliyah Chavez, but listen,
she don't play defense like we play defense at Texas, bro.
Listen, right now the scariest team to me is USC. USC looks ridiculous. They play hellified defense. They still.
I'm worried about UConn, man.
I mean, it's UConn. Like, it's UConn.
I'm worried about Paige Buchers and UConn, bro. I think USC. If USC had Juju, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. I really, really am. Right. But without Juju, I just don't see them beating USC. I just don't see them beating UConn.
Listen,
I just don't see it.
Listen, I thought it was very weird that Aaliyah Chavez decided to go to Oklahoma, and nobody cheered about it. That was weird.
That was very
There are
awkward.
rumors. There are rumors on the reason why she went to Oklahoma was because of NIL, and they backed up the Brinks truck for her. I completely understand that. But also when like watching that basketball team, watching this women's basketball team, there's no way Aaliyah Chavez is coming in and starting over anybody.
Yeah, this team's just too good, man. I mean, and we've got 2 freshmen on the bench that are really good too.
Yeah.
Like we're starting to build a roster. Like we're still like I think we're like I don't know if it's going to be next year, but maybe 2 years from now, like you're going to start thinking about like South Carolina type. Like you're building.
If they're able to build these
dogs on top of dogs,
and they're able to, we obviously know that right now it's best, especially in women's sports, it's best to stay here all 4 years, get as much NIL money as you possibly can, and then go to the WNBA because they're not making the money that they would make in college right now. It just
for sure.
There's too much money in college right now for everybody to be making. Anyway,
Sure.
I have heard stuff already about Aaliyah that she is only going to be a one-year player at Oklahoma and then open it up again. And
oh, really?
I've already heard that like multiple times from multiple different reporters that like don't expect Aaliyah Chavez to stay at Oklahoma. She'll be there for a year, and then basically like if any of these girls or if there's any space where for her to fit in and get on the floor at Texas, that's going to be a thing. Same thing with Texas Tech as well. If there's anything there, if they can rack up that Brinks truck up big enough to get her to come, that's going to happen. Aaliyah Chavez will be gone. That's neither here nor there. I just wanted to put that out there in the atmosphere. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think Aaliyah Chavez is going to go to Oklahoma. They backed up the money for her to be there. I think she's going to be committed there. I would be shocked if she just got up and was like, "Hey, let's move on." So, I think Texas has a really good opportunity, especially the women's. They've already beat Tennessee before. I think they have the opportunity to beat them again.
I'm not worried about Tennessee. I'm not worried about. I'm not even worried about Notre Dame or TCU, but I'm interested in Notre Dame. I'm interested.
Notre Dame. They've beat. Well, they haven't beat Notre Dame. They've played Notre Dame, and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame beat them.
Notre Dame spanked them.
That was, and that wasn't like early in the season either. That was like mid-season.
Yeah, they listen.
That was recent, wasn't it?
Notre Dame put a belt to them.
It was early in the game. No, Notre Dame only won by 10.
They won by 10.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, 10 in today's like world is like not much. You could score 10 points in today's world in like 45 seconds.
You could. So yeah,
but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Again, I'm excited. They're going to be playing in Alabama this weekend. So that's going to be exciting. Listen, we do know that Texas women basketball is it's looking really, really good. I am expecting Texas to come out. Listen, they did lose to Tennessee earlier in the SEC tournament, but they did in the regular season. They did beat Tennessee, and I think that I'm looking forward to them doing the same again. So shout out to them. And lastly, we can't not talk about Texas sports and not talk about football. Football is these football players that had their pro day. I think a lot of these guys have really catapulted themselves up into higher positions to get picked up. Can we talk about Jaden Blue running a 4.27? Running a 4.27?
Crazy.
We got
money maker.
We had both Arch and Quinn out there putting on a show, putting balls in the air, putting rainbows in the air. Quinn looked good. I thought
Yeah.
that 160-yard pass that everybody's talking about was kind of spotty, was kind of wobbly, but it got there. And
You know who
that
else threw, you know who else threw wobbly 60-yard passes? Peyton Manning.
yeah.
A lot. I remember like, and guess what?
Peyton
They still
threw
got
ducks, but
they still got to the receiver.
he threw ducks, but they got there. Listen,
Yeah. That doesn't matter, dude. People are blowing that out of proportion.
the love that Matthew Golden has got over the last month.
The love that who? Matthew Golden? Oh yeah.
Dude, it's so cool to see like
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Because like again,
I got one. Texas.
Matthew Golden was not the guy. It was supposed to be Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond, he had a good turnout, but it was supposed to be Isaiah Bond was supposed to be the speed demon. Now they're like, no. Matthew Golden, and he's big. He's big. So now they're projecting. I've seen him go anywhere to 12. I've seen him go 10 in these mock drafts. So we're talking about a guy that was before the combine, they were talking like late first round.
Yeah.
Late first round, you know, he could go anywhere from 20 to 32. Now I don't see him falling. I don't see people really talking about him falling anywhere past 15, 20. So it's very awesome to see. I think Quinn is going either second round, early third.
That's kind of where I have him, right? Probably like that late second, early third round. But hey, we know every year somebody's reaching for a quarterback.
Yeah. And there's
so if somebody reaches for a quarterback, it's going to be a reach for Quinn. And if that happens, he could go early second round, late first round.
Yeah,
like that could still be a thing.
That can definitely be a thing.
Especially because he's tested so well.
Right. Listen, I like what I've heard from a lot of these correspondents and these pundits from around the sport. They all have said very, very positive things about all of these guys that have had their pro day. Like, Harish, what did you hear? What did you watch? What did you like? What stood out to you from this pro day?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jaden Blue looked really good, man. That guy is gonna, under the right team and the right system who can utilize his skill set. Jaden Blue is gonna be a very good football player.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna be like a 4th round pick, 5th round pick,
right?
But for his skill set, and these guys that have specialty skill sets, like that's when they're gonna get drafted. Let's just like Jaden Blue is not going to be like a 4-down back in the NFL.
No,
he is going to be a pass catching back though, right?
Right. He's gonna do.
He's probably be a returner, play some special teams, but he's going to be a pass catching. He's going to be a pass catching back.
Yeah.
And one lucky team is going to be really, really lucky to get him because that's a skill set that a lot of guys in the NFL don't possess.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought Jaden Blue running 4.27 made himself a lot of money. That's the guy that really stuck out to me the most. I thought obviously Quinn looked very good. The other guy that I thought looked very good, like pretty good, was Jake Majors. I thought Jake Majors looked pretty good. And Jake Majors ran a really good 40, showed up really, really well in those drills. And this is also when you're gonna see a lot of the guys that didn't get invited to combines look really good. Those are the guys that they're going to go and you're like your 4th, your 5th, and your 6th round pick. And those are the guys that are going to be fighting for roster spots in the NFL. And I can tell you from just past experience, I want to say 70 to 80% of the time, those guys are making rosters.
Right.
And they're making high impacts on those rosters. Juan Davis is going to make a football team somewhere.
Yeah.
because that dude can block like a tank.
Yeah.
And it can catch, even though people don't know that yet, right?
Mhm.
Jake Majors is going to make a team. He's going to he's going to play lineman somewhere. Isaiah Bond's going to make a team. Right? He'll probably get drafted, but
I think whoever gets Gunnar Helm is also going to get a gym.
Gunnar Helm's going to make a team.
Gunnar Helm,
dude,
Gunnar Helm he is a solid player. He always seems to get open. He can catch. He's dependable. Like, I only remember Gunnar Helm really just dropping one pass where I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Other than that, he's been pretty solid his entire career.
Does Gunnar Helm remind you at all about like maybe like a little bit slender, bigger Jason Witten?
Yes, that's exactly who he reminds me of.
Okay.
And
because like to me, it's like a guy that's just reliable.
They're talking about Gunnar going in the 4th or 5th round just because of how deep the class is at tight end.
Oh, dude, the tight end class is so good.
Yeah.
And there's so many tight ends.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, man, like when you got 15 guys, of course your regular guys are there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jade Barron was there. Baron Sorrell was there working out, obviously. Not Golden. Cyrus Bolden was there. He caught a pass that was really nice down the sideline.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Which looked really, really good from Quinn on a really, really, again, a great throw from Quinn Ewers, right? Everybody talks about the catch, but the throw, my gosh.
Yeah.
He looked very, very good. So, dude, I think probably a good 10, 11, 12 of these guys are going to get drafted.
I believe so. I definitely believe so. Outside of the guys that we know for sure that are like going to be in the top, you know, Kelvin Banks, Matthew Golden,
of course,
Jade Barron. We know those guys are. All of these guys have been projected to go first round, no matter where they are. They have not fallen. They have not slid too crazy. But we do know that those guys are. You know, a lot of these experts are saying that they're going to go, and I do believe, you know, those 3 for sure are definitely going to go in the first round. The one thing that I want to close on is that even though, you know, we do have the draft next month, and we do have quite a few guys that got invited to the combine, it's just going to show that like what Sark is doing is not bullshit. Like he is clearly developing these guys. He's getting these guys in the right places to where they need to be developed. And that is the most like that's the nice thing about it, right? You get to see these guys, and you know, you think about other schools, like maybe 2 guys go. You know, I think about the Miamis of the day, the Ohio States and the USCs. These guys getting like 4 and 5 guys into the league at one time. Alabama, of course, you can't forget them, LSU. But we went on a tear for like 10 years with nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. And we had decent players. Even within those 10 years, there were decent players that got picked up as undrafted free agents that balled out.
Right.
Now you're seeing the opposite side. You're seeing the fruits of the labor, right? Last year was magical. We got to see Bijan did his thing last year. Xavier Worthy going to the Super Bowl in your rookie year. That doesn't happen often. I know it happens every year, but if you think about it, what transpired with Xavier Worthy breaking the record, then going down, you know, KC trades up back into the draft to get him, and we're like, oh my God, like why would you let Kansas City get a hold of Xavier Worthy? So then he gets on the field and he does a couple of things, but then within like I would say the back half of that season turns into a stud. So now you're seeing like all of this stuff is kind of it's kind of getting pieced together, and it's amazing. It's good to see. You know, we saw this with Alabama. We saw this with Alabama, the Trenton Richardsons of the world, the Tuas, the Julio Joneses, the Mika Fitzpatricks, and all these guys. Like, they're all over the place, and they're doing everything.
Yep.
Now we're getting to see I believe we're getting and moving into that era of Alabama, and we're starting to see these guys not only come in and do well on the football field in college, but actually turn into perennial studs in the pros. And that's exciting to see. Because to get to see these guys on Saturday and Sunday is a treat. It really is. It really is.
Well, it's what we've been waiting for as Texas fans. Like, this is what we want to see. We want to see these guys play on Sunday. Yeah. I want to see Texas wide receivers play in the Super Bowl their rookie year.
Yeah.
I want to see a Texas quarterback win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I want to see a Texas quarterback win an MVP. I want to see Texas players win defensive rookie of the year and defensive. Like, that's what you want to see. Yep. You want to be able to say, man, Texas produces NFL talent.
Yep.
And not only do they produce it, they produce very good NFL talent.
Yeah.
Like, formidable NFL talent. And we're getting there. We're getting there. I think we're over these next 3 or 4 years, we're really going to lay,
and that's exciting.
We're going to put a lot of guys in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Couple quick notes on spring practice. Nothing major. We obviously had the big guys that had their number changes. Listen to some of these numbers. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had a chance to look at this or not, but look at some of these numbers. Very, very interesting. For the freshmen, right? Jamie French, number 2. Mm-hmm. KJ Lacey, quarterback, number 8. Michael Terry, 11. Justice Terry, 15 as a defensive end.
Okay.
Dalen McCutcheon, who, by the way, I'm being told, I'm reading, is looking really, really good.
Okay.
Comes in at number 17. Lance Jackson. This is a guy that I think is going to play a lot this year behind Colin Simmons and those guys. Defensive end. He's Landon Jackson, or not? Yeah, I believe Landon Jackson's brother, the defensive end from Arkansas, who's probably going to get drafted by a team in the first or second round, and maybe the second round. That guy's really good. Number 40, and then Emery Winston is number 85. So Jonah Williams not participating, obviously because he's playing baseball.
Yeah.
Speaking of, he got his first at bat over the weekend, or not over the weekend, on Tuesday. Struck out, but hey, it's only his first.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see how that progresses. We'll keep watching him. And yeah, just let's see. I'm trying to remember.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wanted Jonah Williams to wear number 11.
That would have been kind of dope. Yeah. That'd have been kind of cool.
I kind of want him to wear number 11.
Yeah. I posted a video of Dwayne Aquina earlier this week, yelling at the DBs.
Yep.
So he's back. Classic Dwayne Aquina, doing it just like we would expect him to.
Yep.
Right. There's another video we posted up of Arch Manning throwing a beauty. Oh, another guy that's showing up is the wide receiver. My gosh, I just totally forgot his name. The wide receiver that we've been talking about all off season. You remember who I'm talking about? No. Shoot. What's my gosh. Parker Livingstone.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parker's
yeah.
He's gotten a lot of good reps.
That guy looks good, man. That guy looks good. And a year where you don't really have, like, again, there's not a big transfer. Obviously you lose a wide receiver, right? You lose a wide receiver earlier this week. You lose one of the recruits from last year's class. Freddie DeBose, I guess, is just no longer on the team.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, but Parker Livingstone has made himself look really, really good. so far, and it looks like him and Arch are really comfortable with each other. So, um, beyond that, I can't think of anybody that's kind of like stuck out or anybody that has been called out as playing very very well. Those are kind of the big highlights. Justice Terry looks like he's actually been lining up as the defensive end and not a defensive tackle.
Maybe they're going to a defense. I don't know. I hope that's not the case.
But I think that's some of that is like he's coming at like 290, 293, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think maybe the size, probably with his size, they figured they're gonna try. I guess they're just trying him out on the outside.
Okay.
Trey Owens looks really good. It sounds like everybody's really comfortable with him being the backup quarterback.
I mean, Trey's been there for a while, you know.
This is his third year there, so right. Yeah. So
and he's made it very clear that he has no plans on leaving.
Yep. And of course, another position to look out for, tight end. Spencer Shannon, Jordan Washington probably duking it out to be 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens behind them, because that's going to be very, very important. The tight end room is going to be something that we're going to watch very, very closely. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. Emery Winston, Will Randall. There's still a couple guys out there. That could be a place where I think we try to go see if we can find somebody in the spring portal.
Yep.
Like if we need a veteran presence, it would probably be at tight end.
Yeah.
So just some things I've come across and just kind of like looked over and what I can remember. I'm just going through here and just saying if there's anything else, and I don't see anything. But yeah, that a lot happened on the 40 this week. Tim, is there anything we missed as we get out of here and go finish the rest of the Sweet 16?
No, man. It's been fun. I can't wait to watch the rest of these games. I'm looking forward to Texas handling business. Looking forward to on a baseball diamond. Looking forward to handling business on the basketball court. We got Texas relays this weekend, so Austin is going to be insane. I've already seen a bunch of college kids coming in, and you know, a lot of high school guys are in and running. It's the second largest track meet of the year, you know, next to the Penn Relay. So
can you watch Texas relays like anywhere? Is it like broadcasted? Like the actual relays?
I would not be surprised if it's on the Longhorn Network.
Like on the app, the Longhorn Network app?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of guys running. Of course, you know, Texas has been really good in track and field. They will be participating this year. But they got some competition because again, LSU is the dog.
A&M's got a good program.
A&M's got a good program. So you know, as we get those results, you know, I'll make sure to get that information out there. But yeah, man. What about you? You got anything else?
Oh man, hook 'em horns. Good luck to the lady horns. Hopefully by the time we end this weekend, we will come back next week getting prepared for the Final Four. That'll be awesome to see. Yeah. Two blue bloods going at it right now, back and forth. Arizona Duke, very, very close game. Cooper Flag, I just put Duke up 1. And Caleb Love is balling himself. This is gonna be that's gonna be a great game. Mm-hmm. And then of course, hopefully Tech and Arkansas both choke and neither of them win that game. It ends in a tie that they don't end because nobody cares about either of them. They're playing Arkansas up 31-23 in that one. So as we leave you, Tim, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Tim Wayne on Twitter and Blue Sky. Listen, man, let's talk some football. We're getting bits and pieces of college football information coming out. As that information comes out, we'll definitely get it out there. I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. We've heard a couple of things, but until we get some information that I feel is worthy to put out there, we'll definitely try our best to get out there. Again, shout out to the people at TikTok. We're two people away from 1,000. 2 people away from 1,000. You guys have given us a ton of likes online. and I appreciate that. You've given us a lot of feedback whenever we post anything. So I appreciate you guys. Again, that TikTok community is really, 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 really engaged and really, really active. So yeah, man. Harish, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Uncle Gandhi. Of course, me and Tim, you find us here Thursday nights. Find me with the Colts boys on Tuesday nights, the Horseshoe Mob podcast. If you guys are Colts fans or fans of any of the AFC South teams, of course, keep watch of them. NFL draft. We're 30 days away from the draft, guys.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll cover it here from a Texas perspective. We'll cover it over there from the Colts perspective. The Texans Fan Battle podcast will cover it from their perspective. The Jaguars will hope they remember what a draft is. And the Titans, maybe they trade out of the number 1 pick because they won't know what to do with it either. So, but yeah, that's us. We're out of here. Tim, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, my name's Harish. That's my guy, Tim Wayne. We out of here. Peace.
Joe Gabriel.
Go home, touchdown like an end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard.